Hello, Claudia Felsky here to talk technology. This year during your admin meetings, I have a class of students, so I'll be meeting with you virtually. And this year, Dr. Hibner asked me to focus on communication tools that could help you reach parents, students, and staff. So to that end, I will start with Twitter. So first of all, what is Twitter? Here's a little background.
Twitter is a real-time social microblogging network where users can share anything from photos and videos to articles and jokes. As one of the largest social networks in the world, Twitter is an excellent source for information and news as it's happening. With Twitter, you can follow individuals, brands, and celebrities to stay up to date with their shared content, and post useful or engaging content through your account to gain your own population of Twitter followers. Twitter lets you communicate in real time with people nearby or across the globe using tweets, or 140-character messages that refresh automatically in your Twitter feed as they're sent from the people you follow. Compose tweets and mention specific users to start a conversation. Share others' content by retweeting their posts. Then track popular topics with hashtags. Learn to navigate Twitter. Send tweets, use hashtags, and @mentions. Customize your profile. Follow others and get more followers. Search Twitter to find what's being talked about, and more.
Okay, so that was a little introduction. Just to get this out of the way, evil or misunderstood. So Twitter has a bad rap. Because it's 140 characters, many people think that it's just about useless information like what you had for dinner or just gossip and idle chatter. But the truth of the matter is, when leveraged wisely, Twitter can expand your professional network and really help you learn an awful lot and expand what you're exposed to. So my goal is to introduce you to Twitter and to expose you to some good uses of Twitter. And the question is, how could you as an administrator use Twitter? And here are some thoughts. You could tweet out snow days, delays, schedule changes. You could tweet positive news, awards, victories. You could tweet links to your newsletters and photographs of students doing interesting things. So great PR. You could tweet out articles and relevant websites dealing with important educational issues. So a way to kind of prime the community on initiatives that we're working on. You could use it to increase your own professional development and professional learning network. And I'll talk more about what a PLN is. And also you can use it to keep your finger on the pulse of what your students and community members are talking about. So here's a little testimony from a tweeting administrator that you may recognize, a ghost of East Troy Christmas past, Chad Harnish. So I tweeted him because we follow each other on Twitter, and I asked him to give a little testimony on what he gets out of Twitter. So this is what he told me. I use Twitter for a couple things. First, by judiciously selecting other educators to follow, they become a sort of passive search engine for me. The resources they share have been vetted by them. It saves me time because I trust that the things they share have value. I'm not flailing about wildly in the wilderness. You can tell he was an English teacher. They have already sorted the wheat from the chaff. Over time, when I became more comfortable, I started doing that for the people who follow me. And that really is the key, I find, in Twitter, is that you have a community. So I have a community of about 250 people on Twitter that I follow. They are educators, they are ed tech specialists, and we share ideas, and they tweet out great information and links that help me grow, and hopefully some of the things I contribute help them to grow as well. So secondly, says Chad, I use it to communicate with students. And he talks about he had over 120 Rice Lake students who followed his feed, and he used it to get word out about anything, schedule changes, to squash rumors, to interact with kids, to share event details and pictures. And by not following, but using the list feature, which I'll talk about next time, and adding every kid who follows me, I get to get a dipstick into their combined feeds and check on school climate periodically. Used in both ways, it's an awesome resource. So without actually following his students, he can see what they're posting on Twitter and get a feel of what's going on. Lastly, he says, I cross-post most of the articles I share on Twitter using Buffer to our Facebook page. Since we have over 600 likes on that page, it gives parents and alumni a way to see what we're thinking about, discussing, and when a change is coming, the actively engaged users already understand the backstory of the change in a way that they wouldn't have if they hadn't been reading for the last year or so. So those are some ways to increase communication, to have a finger on the pulse of what students and community members are talking about and thinking, and to educate. So a quick lesson in Twitter and its lingo. So a tweet is 140 characters, so little letters and spaces, those are characters. So a very short message. A Twitter handle is basically a fancy way of saying your identification. So my Twitter handle is Claudia.Felski, and the handle always has the @ symbol, the trademark symbol in front of it. So that's what identifies you. And when you sign up for Twitter, you will choose your handle. That's how people will find you and identify you. A PLN is a professional learning network, and as you become more involved in Twitter, you find very useful people that you can follow, and they will grow what you're learning about. A Twitter hashtag has a little number symbol in front of it, and that's basically a conversation. So when I tweet, I often put the hashtag EdChat or EdTech in front of it. And that means I'm tweeting about an educational issue or an educational technology issue. And that way, someone who wants to read about that issue can find them all gathered in one place from everyone. So we'll talk more about that later, but those are some basic terms. Other functions, a retweet is when you read something on Twitter that you really like. When you retweet it, you are expanding the audience of that original tweeter. You're sharing it with everyone who follows you. So it's a great compliment, and it's a way to exponentially expand who's exposed to a tweet, to a piece of information. Following someone means that you find that what they're saying, what they're tweeting about is interesting enough that you want to see everything they tweet. So you follow them, and then they will be part of your feed, and you'll see everything they write. A mention is when you put someone's Twitter handle, so mine is @Claudia.Felski, within your tweet, and that means that person will see it, and that person is associated with the message. So, how do you get started on Twitter? It's exceedingly simple. You sign up. You'll need to go to twitter.com, and you'll need to do that at home because as a social network, it's blocked at school in the district. So go to twitter.com at home and follow the prompts, and it will take you about 2 minutes to get a Twitter account. And the next question would be how to tweet. So I'm going to exit this presentation for a second, and I'm going to go to my Twitter account, and all these crazy faces you see, that's just my background. You could ignore that, but those are some of the people I follow on Twitter. So here are my recent tweets, and up here is my little bio, and this is how you tweet. So I go up to where the little quill is, this blue box, and I click it, and I simply type what I want to tweet. So I'm going to say, right now, I'm in servicing, soon to be tech savvy, let's say Twitter savvy, admins, tweet power. Okay, and I may want to add EdTech because maybe somebody wants a copy of this presentation and they could contact me. So this is not the most informative tweet I've ever done, but that'll do. And now I'm gonna hit tweet, and now you'll see it showed up in my feed. So everyone who follows me sees this tweet from me, but most of my tweets are a little more useful. Like this is a Google image search by color, and I have the URL. And my hashtag here was Google Apps for Education. So anyone who's interested in that sees this tweet, so it's helpful to them. But anyway, that's how you tweet. And you'll see a search button up here. So if I wanted to see, let's say I want to see what people are saying about Common Core right now, because that's controversial right now, believe it or not. So I hit Common Core enter, and I could see in a second what people are saying about Common Core all over. So here's Clay Williams, Alberto Calvino, Politico. So I see what Jim Burke, he's a big English guru. So I can see what people all over the country and all over the world are saying about Common Core, because they use that hashtag, so it shows up. I also see here's a Common Core, the Common Core organization itself. I could follow them if I wanted to. Department of Education, Common Core Lab, I could follow them. Common Core questions. So if I search for something here and I like what somebody says, let's say I like what Alberto Caravallo says, it certainly appears that Common Core perspectives have left the politicized Common Core debate. If I go to this link and I think it's pretty interesting, I could click on him and I could follow him, and then I would see everything that he posts. So that's how I can search for an issue, see what's being said, and then if I find somebody kind of interesting, I could follow them, or I could search for a person. So let's say Robert Marzano is a pretty interesting person in education, right? So I could click on him, and I could see the kinds of things he tweets, and I could follow him. I'm already following him. So let's go back to the presentation quickly. And so I showed you how to tweet. And so how to get a following. I showed you how you can search for something, and once you read and find something interesting, you can follow them, and they will often follow you back. You could give people your, whoops, sorry about that. You could give people your, it's going crazy, your Twitter handle. You could pay attention on Fridays. People often have a hashtag on Fridays called Follow Friday, and they will suggest good people to follow. And you can retweet people's posts, and they appreciate that, and they will also often follow you for doing that. So I have some goals for you for next admin meeting. So you could sign up for a Twitter account, right? Go to twitter.com. You could follow 5 people or organizations of interest, and you could tweet 5 times. So those are some little goals, because next time I will be talking about advanced Twitter. We'll look at Twitter chats, what those are, Twitter hashtags, and how to expand your personal learning network. So you too can be the Chad Harnish of tweeting administrators. In the meantime, feel free to contact me if you have any questions about this, but next time I'll talk to you about more advanced features of Twitter. Thank you.